Have you ever noticed that, well, simple movements just don't feel quite as effortless as they used to? Maybe getting up from a chair feels a little heavier now, or those stairs, they seem just a bit steeper.
Yeah, that's really common.
You're definitely not alone, if that sounds familiar. Many of us, especially, as we get a little older, feel that kind of fade in leg strength, mobility too.
Right.
But what if I told you that regaining that spring in your step wasn't necessarily about like grueling workouts? What if it was something simpler? Maybe even something you do while you're asleep.
That's exactly what we're exploring today.
Today, we are taking a deep dive into senior vitality. We're focusing specifically on how those of you age 65 and older can genuinely restore leg strength, really improve your mobility, and just reclaim that confidence in everyday movement.
Yeah, get that freedom back.
Exactly. We've pulled together insights from, a real mix of sources. We've got established health guidelines, some really in-depth analyses of how our bodies change over time, some surprising dietary discoveries, and even some, powerful ancient wisdom traditions.
Our mission for this deep dive is really to cut through all the noise. We want to unpack the science behind why strength often declines with age, and crucially, give you clear, actionable steps, things you can actually do that can make a profound difference in your daily life.
Okay.
We want to show you quite clearly that aging doesn't automatically mean you have to surrender your strength. It's just not true. Your body is incredibly responsive. It really wants to heal.
Okay, right. Let's unpack that then. Before we jump straight into the solutions, let's understand the why. Why does leg strength often decline as we age? We need to talk about this term, sarcopenia.
Right. Sarcopenia. It's essentially the gradual loss of muscle, not just the mass, but also the quality and the strength of the muscle. It happens naturally with aging, or importantly, if we become inactive.
Inactivity is key there.
Absolutely. And it's different from other kinds of muscle wasting, but it's a really big part of what doctors call frailty syndrome, that general weakening and increased vulnerability.
Okay.
And if you don't address it, sarcopenia can really reduce your quality of life. It significantly increases the risk of falls, fractures, and potentially losing your independence.
What are the signs? Are they obvious?
Well, often they're quite subtle at first. You might notice maybe a loss of lean muscle, things just feel a bit softer, reduced overall strength, certainly, and just finding daily tasks a bit harder. It can actually go unrecognized until it's quite advanced. One potential early clue. Sometimes people notice a significant loss in their upper thigh muscles, the quads, and maybe their abdominal muscles too.
Interesting.
And sometimes the upper body might even try to compensate, getting a bit stronger to make up for weaker legs.
So what's causing it then?
Yeah.
Is this just inevitable, something we just have to accept?
That's a great question. And the surprising answer really is no. It's not entirely inevitable. Sarcopenia is complex. It's usually a result of many different factors interacting.
Okay.
Hormonal changes do play a part, natural declines in hormones like testosterone and growth hormone, but maybe the biggest driver, immobility. Being inactive just dramatically speeds up muscle loss, even in younger people.
Wow, okay.
Then there are other factors too. Age-related changes within the muscle cells themselves, maybe not getting enough key nutrients, changes in nerve function, chronic diseases, even things from early life like low birth weight can play a role. And at a deeper level, what happens is healthy muscle tissue can actually get replaced by fat or fibrous tissue. The cells become less efficient. And importantly, those fast-twitch muscle fibers.
The power ones.
Exactly, the power ones, the ones you need for quick, strong movements like getting up fast or catching your balance, they tend to decline more significantly.
That sounds like quite a lot going on. So for our listener, if it's not totally inevitable, what's the takeaway? What's the empowering message here? What can we actually do?
Right. And this brings us to the really immense power of movement. Because while being inactive is a huge risk factor, the truly empowering part is that your aging muscles want to respond to exercise. They absolutely keep that ability to rebuild and get stronger.
That's huge. It overturns that whole idea that decline is just guaranteed.
It really does. And the Canadian Physical Activity Guidelines for adults 65 plus, they're very clear and actionable. They recommend getting at least 150 minutes per week of moderate to vigorous aerobic activity.
Okay, 150 minutes. What does moderate or vigorous look like?
Good question. Think of moderate as maybe brisk walking or cycling, enough to make you sweat just a little, breathe a bit harder.
Got it.
Vigorous would be more like swimming laps, or maybe cross-country skiing if that's your thing. You're really working hard, getting out of breath. And importantly, these activities should ideally be in bursts of 10 minutes or more.
Okay, so consistency over intensity sometimes.
Well, both matter, but breaking it up works. And it's not just about cardio. You also need to add muscle and bone strengthening activities using those major muscle groups at least 2 days per week.
Right, strength training.
Yes. And for anyone who already has some mobility issues, adding activities specifically to enhance balance and prevent falls is really essential. The core message is simple. The more active you are, the greater the health benefits. It scales up.
That's incredibly practical advice. So for you listening, this could mean maybe dusting off those walking shoes for a really brisk walk after dinner, or planning more active family get-togethers.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe it's rediscovering a sport you used to love, taking the dog for a longer walk. You could be joining a local walking group, maybe urban polling, or taking a dance class, even training for a local charity walk or run.
Exactly. It's about finding movement that you actually enjoy, something that fits into your life.
Right, so you stick with it.
Precisely, because the benefits are just profound. Regular activity doesn't just cut your risk of chronic diseases like high blood pressure and heart disease. It also helps you maintain your independence, your mobility, your fitness. It supports a healthy weight, strengthens your bones, and gives your mental well-being a significant boost. It's really a whole body approach to reclaiming vitality.
Okay, so that's the daytime story. Get up, get moving.
Yeah.
But what if I told you a major part of restoring strength, particularly in your legs, happens while you're actually asleep?
Ah, yes.
This is where this one spoon before bed idea comes in, and honestly, it sounds quite revolutionary.
It really is fascinating. Nighttime is absolutely critical. It's when your body goes into deep repair mode. You don't actually build muscle during the workout.
Right, you break it down then.
Exactly. You build it during recovery, especially during sleep. That's when your natural repair systems kick into high gear. Growth hormone levels peak, protein synthesis, actually building new muscle happens then.
Okay, but why do legs specifically seem to lose strength at night? What's going on there?
That's a key point. There are several reasons. First, during that overnight fast, your body might actually break down muscle tissue for energy if it doesn't have enough fuel readily available. It's called nocturnal muscle catabolism.
Okay.
Second, when you're lying down for hours, blood flow to your legs can decrease slightly. Your body prioritizes vital organs. This can potentially deprive muscles of some oxygen and nutrients they need for repair. Third, that low-grade inflammation that can increase with age. It interferes with muscle repair too. And finally, things like declining protective hormones, accumulated cellular damage, even certain mineral deficiencies like magnesium or potassium can make your muscles more vulnerable at night.
Wow, okay. So how does this one spoon habit, how does it intervene? How does it help with all that?
It's remarkably simple in concept, but the practice is powerful. The idea is you provide specific, targeted nutrients right before you go to sleep. It's like giving your muscles fuel for their deepest rest period. Think of it like a slow-release charge specifically for your legs overnight.
A charge for your legs, I like that.
Yeah. So here's the science behind it. First, by giving your body easily digestible protein or specific amino acids, especially things like leucine, right before bed, you're essentially providing the raw materials muscles need for repair. This prevents breakdown and actually signals growth.
Okay, building blocks ready to go.
Exactly. Second, certain nutrients like specific healthy fats act as anti-inflammatories. They help calm down that cellular environment, allowing repair to happen more efficiently.
Makes sense.
Third, there are circulation boosters found in certain foods. Things like beetroot, pomegranate. They help relax blood vessels, improving blood flow. This gets more oxygen and nutrients to the muscles and helps clear out waste products.
Nice.
And finally, ingredients that provide key electrolytes like magnesium and potassium or antioxidants to fight cellular damage, they all contribute to better muscle function and faster recovery overnight.
And you mentioned ancient wisdom earlier. How does that connect?
It's fascinating, right? Traditions like the Shaolin perspective really echo this. They emphasize that this simple act, this mindful consumption before rest, signals safety to the nervous system. That allows for deeper repair. It's about presence, intention, food as medicine, consumed with gratitude. They talk about aligning your essence, your energy, your spirit, Jing, Qi, Shen at night. This allows for what they call unseen training transformation during sleep. They have a saying, Strength does not begin in the hands, it begins in the stance. Strong legs anchor the spirit. It highlights that deep link between a solid physical foundation and your overall vitality.
Strong legs anchor the spirit.
That's powerful.
Okay, this is all great in theory, but the important question,
Yeah.
what exactly goes into that spoon? Give us some concrete ideas and practical recipes.
Excellent question, because this is where it gets really practical for you listening. And you've got options, which is great. It could be something as simple and comforting as, say, a teaspoon of warm turmeric honey.
Oh, nice.
Or maybe a spoonful of magnesium-rich pumpkin seed paste, perhaps mixed with a tiny pinch of black pepper and a little olive oil to help absorption. Even something like mashed banana mixed with turmeric and a dash of black sesame oil.
Simple pantry staples.
Many are. A really popular combination, and apparently quite effective, is 1 teaspoon of pure honey plus about half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder and 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. You can add an optional pinch of turmeric and a dash of black pepper too. Mix it into a paste.
Okay.
And then just follow it with a small glass of warm water or maybe some herbal tea. Another option is simply a scoop of slow-release protein powder casein, works well, or a good plant-based blend, just mixed with a bit of water or milk.
Right, for sustained release.
Exactly. Or for a really soothing nightcap, try warm milk or a dairy-free milk if you prefer, with about half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of cinnamon, and maybe a teaspoon of chia seeds stirred in.
That sounds lovely.
And one more powerful, simple elixir many people swear by, just 1 tablespoon of raw honey and 1 tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar. Mix them in warm water and take it maybe 30 minutes before bed. Just a couple of tips here. Try to get raw, local honey if you can, and make sure the apple cider vinegar is the unfiltered kind with the mother, and use warm water, not hot, so you don't damage the beneficial compounds.
Those sound incredibly simple, comforting, and potentially really effective. And, we've actually heard some inspiring stories from real people, folks over 65, about how these small changes made a huge difference.
Yes, those stories are always amazing.
There was Mr. Daniel, 73, retired postal worker. He told us he was having trouble walking even half a block, terrible calf cramps every single night. He started trying that spoonful of mashed banana with turmeric and black sesame oil before bed.
Okay.
Just 3 weeks later, he was walking a mile again, pain-free. He actually said, "It's like my legs remembered how to live again."
Wow, that's fantastic.
Isn't it? Then there was Mrs. Eleanor, 74. She'd basically stopped her beloved long walks, gardening, even grocery trips because of leg pain. She started taking that honey, cinnamon, apple cider vinegar mix. Within weeks, she said her legs felt stronger, her balance was better, and she was back out tending her garden.
That's wonderful. Regaining those activities is huge.
Absolutely. And one more, Helen, a 72-year-old retired nurse. Her legs were giving out. She was genuinely afraid of stairs. She tried the warm milk with turmeric, cinnamon, and chia seeds. 3 weeks later, standing up easier, walking without that fear, she even danced at a family cookout.
See, these stories really underline the power of consistency. And it's important to remember, beyond just the 1 spoon, it's also vital to support your body in other ways. Gentle leg exercises, daily, even simple things like seated leg lifts or slow, controlled squats. Staying well hydrated is crucial. Muscles need water to function properly. And of course, making sure you're getting enough protein throughout the day, not just at night.
Good point. And any safety things people should keep in mind.
Yes, definitely. A brief but important note. If you have diabetes, it's always smart to check with your doctor before you start using honey regularly, even raw honey.
Right.
Similarly, if you happen to be on blood thinners, like warfarin, you should consult your doctor about taking turmeric regularly, as it can have a mild blood thinning effect itself. Just remember, natural doesn't automatically mean risk-free.
Yeah.
Use these things wisely, and always, always talk to your doctor if you have underlying medical conditions or you're taking medications. Interactions can happen.
Okay, that's crucial advice.
And the key, really, as that ancient wisdom suggests, is consistency. Healing comes from consistency. Don't expect an overnight miracle cure, but you absolutely can expect profound change over time if you stick with it.
That's incredible insight into maximizing our body's repair systems at night. But our nutritional journey for stronger legs doesn't just stop at the bedside, does it?
Not at all.
What you eat throughout the day also has a massive impact on your muscle health, especially for your legs. Let's talk about something many of us snack on every day. Nuts.
Ah, yes, nuts. And what's really fascinating here is that not all nuts are created equal. especially when we're talking about seniors. Some are absolute powerhouses for promoting strength and vitality,
Okay.
while others, well, they can quietly work against your health goals without you even realizing it.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's dive into the nuts seniors should be eating for vibrant health. Let's start with the good news.
Right. First up, almonds. They are just fantastic, great for bone health because they've got calcium and vitamin E. Good for your heart, too, with magnesium and those healthy monounsaturated fats that help lower the bad LDL cholesterol. They also seem to protect the brain, and they're great for digestion because of the fiber content. Helps with constipation, which can be an issue. We'd recommend aiming for maybe 15 to 20 almonds daily. Raw or dry roasted is best, and definitely keep the skins on. That's where a lot of the antioxidants are.
Good tip, keep the skins on.
Yes, just one caution. Chew them really thoroughly, especially if swallowing is sometimes difficult. They can be a choking hazard if you're not careful.
Okay, what's next?
Next, walnuts. Often called the brain's best friend, and for good reason. They're packed with plant-based omega-3s, the ALA type, which research suggests improve thinking speed and mental flexibility.
Wow.
Plus, they have unique compounds called polyphenols that fight brain inflammation. Interestingly, walnuts even contain a bit of melatonin, which might contribute to better sleep.
That's a bonus.
Definitely. And they're great for heart health, too. Help keep blood vessels flexible, can support healthy blood pressure. Aim for maybe 7 to 9 walnut halves a day. And a key tip, store walnuts in the fridge. Their healthy oils are delicate and can go rancid easily.
Fridge for walnuts. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay, who else is on the good list?
Then we have pistachios. These are, I think, really underrated for seniors, especially good for blood pressure because they're naturally low in sodium but high in potassium.
That balance is important.
Very. They also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, which are compounds that protect against age-related macular degeneration vision decline. And their crunch is a little gentler than almonds, which can be good for aging teeth, plus having to shell them.
Slows you down.
Exactly. It naturally helps with portion control. And their fiber helps regulate blood sugar, too. About 49 unsalted pistachios daily is a good target.
Okay, one more good one?
Yes, Brazil nuts. These are absolute superstars for thyroid function. Why? Selenium. Just one Brazil nut can provide more than your entire daily need for selenium.
Just one.
Just one. And selenium is essential for activating thyroid hormones, which impacts your energy levels, your mood, everything. It also helps maintain nerve health for sharp reflexes. And like the others, they can help with constipation. So eat just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts daily. Moderation is really key here because you can get too much selenium.
Right, selenium toxicity is a thing.
It is. So 1-2 a day is perfect. And like walnuts, store them in the fridge.
Okay, almonds, walnuts, pistachios, Brazil nuts. Great list. Now, for the surprising part,
Yeah.
the nuts that seniors might actually want to avoid or at least be cautious about, this is where things get interesting.
Indeed. This might challenge some common snacking habits. Let's start with peanuts. Big one. First off, technically they're legumes, not true nuts.
Right, I knew that.
Yeah. And a major concern is aflatoxins. These are harmful compounds produced by molds that can sometimes contaminate peanuts, especially if stored poorly. They're not good for liver or kidney health. Peanuts are also quite high in omega-6 fatty acids, which in excess can be pro-inflammatory. And commercial peanut butters and roasted peanuts, often loaded with salt, sugar, unhealthy oils. Plus, the roasting process itself can create compounds we want to limit. So peanuts are generally one to approach with caution or maybe limit significantly.
Good to know. What else?
Then cashews. They actually have a higher carbohydrate content compared to most other nuts. This can be a concern if you're managing diabetes or prediabetes.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. They're also quite smooth and relatively small, which surprisingly can make them a bit of a choking hazard for some older adults. And cashews are high in oxalates. Oxalates can interfere with calcium absorption and, in susceptible people, might increase the risk of kidney stones. Plus, most cashews you buy are heavily processed, often roasted in oil and salted, stripping some nutrients.
Okay, so cashews. Maybe not the best choice. Next.
Macadamia nuts. Delicious, yes, but extremely calorie dense and very high in fat, including saturated fat, which can raise LDL cholesterol for some people.
Right, the richness.
Exactly. Their hard texture can also be tough on aging teeth or dentures, and they're quite expensive, which unfortunately means sometimes you might find older, possibly rancid batches on shelves if you're not buying from a good source. Rancid fats are pro-inflammatory.
Okay. Macadamias in moderation, maybe. And the last one.
Finally, and this one is quite a serious concern, pine nuts. The major issue here is their potential to interfere with many common medications taken by seniors. We're talking statins for cholesterol, some antidepressants, blood pressure drugs. Pine nuts can interact with over 60% of these common meds, potentially reducing their effectiveness or causing side effects.
Wow, that's significant.
It really is. They've also been linked to something called pine mouth syndrome, a strange, persistent, bitter or metallic taste that can last for days or weeks and really affect appetite and enjoyment of food, which can lead to unintentional weight loss in seniors.
Never heard of that.
It's a documented thing. Plus, they're high in polyunsaturated fats that go rancid easily, and their small, slick texture can be an aspiration risk. Given all these factors, especially the medication interactions, pine nuts are probably best avoided altogether after 65.
Okay, that is genuinely surprising and really important information about pine nuts. Thank you.
Yeah.
So wrapping this all up, what does this mean for our listener? We've covered a lot today: sarcopenia, the power of movement, that fascinating one-spoon nighttime strategy, and now this detailed look at nuts.
Yeah, it's been a real deep dive, but the core message, I hope, is really clear and empowering. Losing strength as you age is not a life sentence. It's not inevitable decline. Your body is still incredibly responsive. It still wants to heal. It wants to rebuild. And by understanding how it works, those natural processes, and giving it targeted support, through consistent movement that actually fits your life, through that strategic nighttime nourishment we talked about, and through making informed dietary choices, like being smart about which nuts you snack on, you really can make a profound difference.
It's not about trying to literally turn back the clock to being 20 again, is it?
Not at all. It's about reclaiming your confidence, your freedom of movement, your joy in being active. It's about being able to stand up easily, walk without fear, keep doing the things you love: gardening, playing with grandkids, traveling without your body holding you back.
Small, consistent acts of self-care adding up to really massive improvements.
Exactly. It's about working with your body, not against it.
So maybe this raises a final important question for you to consider. If your body is capable of so much healing, so much rebuilding, even now, what hidden strengths might you still unlock? What potential is waiting there just by giving your body what it truly needs consistently and with intention?
That's a powerful thought to end on.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. Until next time, keep moving, keep nourishing, and keep trusting your body's amazing capacity to rise again.